Hello, everyone. You guys are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, and we are on the Going Solo Media. You can see it right across my face. GoingSoloMedia.com. So anyhow, this is the Boy and Girl Show. It's a boy and girl thing show, and I am Cece Schatz, the doyen of relationship building, and I have my good friends with me.
Kathy. Hello.
Hey, Kathy. And Derek?
And hi, how are you doing? I'm Derek Bernard, and I am here, as usual, chatting with these two lovely ladies.
Yes, it's nice to have you here with us. We were a little worried you weren't going to be coming.
No.
Tonight, so you always frighten us a little bit. So yeah.
No, I'm all right. I'm here.
So I wonder, okay, Kathy, how would you feel if the guy was always late, like picking you up or meeting you?
If it was all the time, I would be a little bit annoyed because I would be thinking, well, gee, I must not be that important for him to not, because it's nice when you feel like the guy is excited to see you and is early. Not too early, but early. Too early. But when you're late all the time or a lot, then it just makes you feel unimportant.
Yeah, that's probably true. But you know what I would probably do is I would just start going late. Maybe I always feel he's early. What the heck? So, the logic is not always there, but we go with it. All right, listen, we're going to talk about this really cool subject tonight, and Kathy, you're going to take the lead on this one. Duty dating.
Duty?
And is it duty dating? So, Kathy, share with us what the heck is duty dating.
Okay. Cece, it's your fault that I came up with this subject because you gave me the job to find the topic tonight. And so I'm trying to think, what should we do? So I'm looking and I saw this thing popped up online, duty dating. And I'm like, well, I've never heard that concept before. So anyway, so I looked at it and it seems to be the whole concept of it is to go out there and to date as many people as you can, get relaxed about, meeting new people and dating new people. And it's not about going out with somebody just to use them, as a date. It's going out there, you have a purpose for it. And it's not the purpose of using anybody. And it's not the purpose of serial dating. The purpose is for you to meet as many people as you can. And, some may be duds, some may be jerks, some may be really fascinating people that you just don't connect with, or they just some may end up being lifelong friends, but you're out there and you end up just getting relaxed about just meeting people.
Isn't that what guys do? Don't guys do that now? Sure. Isn't that what a guy does? He just goes out and dates as many people as he possibly can.
Well, according to this article, though, it says to fill up your calendar, and it kind of make it a job of dating, or I would call it more like meeting. I wouldn't call it dating unless it's starting to get a little serious. What do you think?
I don't know. I
don't know. I mean, I think that if you go out with someone on a date, you date before you get serious.
You have the attraction,
right.
You go further.
It's a date, because you have a date and a time and a specific place. So you go on a date. But the title is could be a little bit misleading because it's not. I know. But it's not, when you look at it, and you see duty dating, you start off thinking of dating as a duty, but it's quite the opposite. It's actually getting to know people, which is a healthy thing, which I have told people to do before, instead of just meeting one person. And they say, okay, I met this person, and because I didn't get rejection, and probably the person is a little appealing, you settle for that person without proper examination, without seeing if there are other people out there who might have more in common with you. So I think duty dating is something good, you know.
Well, yeah. And so,
Especially if you just out of relationship, if you're not in a relationship, you're just out of one and you're trying to find your footing. So you want to get to know as many people as you can before you decide which person you want to kind of seriously date.
So also, they're saying not to reject anybody, no matter what. Even if you think that you're not going to have a connection with them, they say, give it a chance. And you give them at least 3 chances. You have to give them 3 chances. And because you just don't know, it might grow to be something else.
So are you saying then that if you don't have the chemistry, right?
My phone's ringing. Sorry.
If you don't have the chemistry, so to speak, then you should still give it a shot.
Well, I don't know about that one. I think that if you
going off with duty dating is almost like the house.
Okay.
Oh my God! I don't know about giving the 3 chances thing. I mean,
I like that idea.
I like that idea. I think 3 dates. I don't think
3 dates.
Yeah, because the guy could be nervous, the gal could be nervous at the very beginning.
That's what it said.
Not really. Yeah.
You give them the 3 chances because they may be very nervous in the beginning, and you got to give them a chance to show their true self, And by the 3rd date, you see, a lot of different things about them, the mannerisms, and
Mark says, I disagree with giving 3 chances.
Yeah.
Mark,
I'm with Mark on that one. The 3 chances thing, I'm not with that.
Well, yeah, you guys, you just don't give the girl a chance.
No, he's gonna ditch her right off the bat if he's not.
She was never on board in the first place. So for you to be ditched, you have to be on board.
The girls are a lot more patient than you guys. We
possibly.
Well, our pool is shrinking. Our pool is shrinking with guys, and so we've got to be a little bit more patient and understanding. And hey. I don't know. The duty thing, I think where the duty comes in, and I think if I read it correctly and if I get the vibe on it, I think a lot of times when we are dating, we don't always take it as serious, And so I think duty is making it fill your calendar, Oh, Mark, oh, you're a sweetheart, Mark. You're a sweetheart. Give her 2 times.
Well,
3 times she's out.
I know.
But I think we don't take it seriously enough. I know I don't, probably I get on a dating site and then I, ho hum and I don't check it half the time. I go back in and then I got all these messages.
Well, why do you think that is, Cece? Why do you think that is that you don't take it seriously?
For me, it's probably because of my schedule. My schedule's tight, and then we got the coronavirus and stuff.
You're not sure if they're going to put up with what your schedule is, so you kind of get intimidated, or you get what's the word I want to say?
Well, and the thing is, I don't have time to waste on people that aren't really for me, and so I think that 3 times I agree with it. If I think that if the first time they're interesting. You want to go the 2nd time, you're still not quite sure, then go the 3rd time. But by then, if you don't really hit it, then I think
right.
But I don't have the time to sit and waste. If I go out and meet them and it's like, okay, this is not a connection, then I'm wasting their time, I'm wasting my time. But here, this is what Mark said. Either you hit it off or you don't. Hey guys out there listening, everybody, ladies, men, please comment like Mark is doing because it helps us, and we love to talk with you guys.
Thank you, Mark.
Sharing. So thank you, Mark. Either you hit it off or you don't, and that's probably true.
I don't always agree with that because I've had situations where I first met somebody and I was like, nah, but I gave them a chance, and it went out 1 or 2 more times, and they started growing on me. It's like, okay. So
I married one of those, Kathy.
Well, you all are probably good, nourishing soil.
It kind of grew on me. Yeah.
But listen, there's been other times where I was like, oh no, I just, there's no, like the first time I meet them, I'm like, no. And so I don't see them again, but then I'll see them later, maybe a year later, and I see them as a group of people, and I see the personality a little in a different way rather than one-on-one with me. But that's when I'm like, wow, that's a pretty cool guy. And I'm like, well, it's too late now. There's nothing I can do about it, because they're already.
Well, too, and the other thing is about dating. If you just swipe on by, you're not really getting the essence of the person. You're just getting the look, and it could be a goofy picture or maybe not the best picture. I personally do not take very good pictures. And so, it just may not be a very good picture of me, but it's not the essence of you. And so maybe with this duty dating, it's really making you say, listen, fill your calendar, even with those that you're swiping by, but you do have some sort of interest. And maybe once you meet him in person, you may say, wow, this is a really awesome person.
Yeah.
What do you think, Derek?
I'm all for duty. I'm all for duty dating. I think that the more people
it's not booty dating, it's duty dating.
It's what?
It's not booty dating.
No. I'm not even thinking in that direction, because believe it or not, not everybody I meet, the older I get is the more selective I get, honestly. And not everybody I meet is somebody I want to jump in the sack with.
We're talking about dating. We're not talking about sex.
No, I'm talking about, I am responding to what Kathy said.
He goes straight for that. He goes straight for that.
But I like the duty dating thing, because it exposes you to more people, more personalities, more options in terms of who really fits in with you and who you are, and who really is that person, So it's something like speed dating that they used to be this thing about speed dating. You date several people at one sitting, which I find is too superficial to get to know anybody. But duty dating, look, if you feel that you can go out with a person a third time, why not? With me, for any time I sit with someone, I, get a conversation going, I'd pretty much know whether this person is the kind of person I want to be with, yes or no. Okay, I could also give them a second date, according to Mark. Probably they might show up something different. But if by the second date, I'm not seeing anything really different about you or anything that is more appealing, I'm not going a third time. That's it.
That makes sense. Something I was thinking too, guys, is that, sometimes when you're dating and especially if you're coming out of a relationship and then you're stepping back into dating or something like that, and you're getting your feet wet with it again, you're learning more about yourself, as you're progressing in the dating field. So when you're meeting people, you're not only being selective on the ones that you're actually going out with, but you're learning something about them, but you're also learning something about yourself as you're traveling down that road of dating. And so you're exploring, and I think maybe the duty dating is kind of, maybe they're thinking to explore different options, to explore different personalities.
You are learning about yourself as you go. You're learning about what you like and what you're looking for, and yeah, I agree with you, Cece.
Yeah. Do you think, Derek, you learn about yourself as you go down dating? And you think you know all about Mr. Derek, right?
I am pretty sure about who I am, but you still would discover some aspects of yourself. Somebody might bring out something differently in you that nobody has touched before. It's always a possibility. So you can grow, you can date and grow. Although some people date and shrink, but you can date and grow and see how your personality will gel. Become a bigger person than you were, kind of way, in other words. So there's always room for growth. And dating, I'm sure, can help that along.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think you're right with that. I think we do kind of know ourselves, but sometimes people bring out, the best or maybe not the best in us,
Maybe
right?
not the best.
Yeah,
Different. I would just say,
this is
I'm not going to put a value in it. I'll just say a different aspect of yourself.
Yeah.
So the fourth section of this says that you don't have to take it seriously. In fact, you probably shouldn't. It's a chance for single people to get back out there and to just get relaxed about dating again when you haven't been dating for a long time, when you recently divorced or separated or whatever the circumstances are. To just get out there and get used to the fact that there's other people of the opposite sex or same sex, whatever, and to just get relaxed with each other and get to know it, how dating goes.
Right, and I think the thing about not refusing anybody is important as well, because very often when we go decide to date, we make pre-selections based on a picture or based on a profile, or some people don't even know how to write a profile or what to put in it. What they're putting may be absolutely irrelevant to who they really are. So I like the aspect of just accept everybody and have some fun. Go out and enjoy yourself.
Definitely go out there and have fun. And
so often you hear, I hear people that go out and they date and they're right away they're starting to think this is the one, this is the person, and you've only gone out maybe once or twice, and how can you really get that yet? But if you're doing this type of dating,
sometimes it happens.
Sometimes you do, and sometimes it's desperation speaking.
Is that how Stella got her groove back?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think so, isn't it? That's what she did, I think.
I see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's an interesting concept. It doesn't say, though, that you're going to go out and, have sex with everyone you're meeting. It just says to go out and date and get to know people and maybe learn a little bit more about yourself and then also about others. What you like, maybe what you don't like, especially if you haven't been dating for a while. Maybe you don't really, you say you want this list of whatever in a person, but then when you go out with them, maybe there's something more that you want, or maybe something less, right? Maybe your expectations are too high. What do you think of that, Derek?
Well, I always say I have no expectations. When I meet someone, I have no expectations. I am meeting a blank page, and I'll allow you to paint the picture that you want to paint. I really have no expectations.
Yes, you just consider it as practice dating, and no expectations, and just have fun.
Just have some fun.
So why do you call it duty?
Duty to yourself.
It's a duty to yourself, yeah.
Duty to yourself. It's as I said, it can easily be misconstrued for dating as a duty, but duty to yourself to allow yourself to get back out there and meet people and meet a variety of people and so on.
Yeah. Listen, I just want to acknowledge we have someone here. I'm not sure who you are, Facebook user. Thank you so much. Great topic and awareness for men and women. We appreciate your response. And also, men think differently. Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's hear what men have to say.
Let's hear about that. Okay, Facebook user, you brought up a topic, the subject. So what is it what is it about this particular subject?
Because, in my opinion, it seems like that's the way it's always been anyway for men. It's harder for a woman to come up to do that concept of going out there and dating. Oh, you're dating more than one person? Oh my gosh, that's that's
well, it's not that you're dating more than one person at the same time.
See it like that.
You're dating and you're moving on.
Hey, Nina, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Nina.
Yeah.
You're dating and you're moving on. It's not that you're dating more than one at the same time. Mm-hmm. So it's a little different. You know, some people, you might end up in your trail winds as friends. You don't know, you know.
Yeah, and let's hope we do, because it would be great to go out with someone, and even if it's not, you know, like some sort of romantic rendezvous type of feeling or whatever that we might have, it's just nice to know that, hey, I made another friend. I mean, when I go out, that's exactly, you know, what I do. I mean, I try not to put that much into it, you know, as far as expectation, because I just think we need to be friends first, and then hopefully, you know, the romantic part of it will just happen. And so, yeah.
Brings me to the next topic. Next time is breadcrumbs.
Yeah, but I think that it's true though, Kathy, with regards to we should date more. I think it's a big mistake when we're out there dating and we don't date more than one person. But I do feel that once you are, you know, you've met somebody that you really truly have an interest in, I think sometimes you do need to focus a little bit more on that, home in on that, you know, where like if you're dating other people, there's no ring on the finger, so you can do whatever you want to do. But if you're dating multiple people and then someone really catches your interest, and you date them a little bit more often, what you're going to find is if you truly like that person, you're going to want to be with them more and more. They're going to want to be with you and more. And then it will just kind of happen. You won't be seeing other people and you won't be dating.
Well, I was just going to caution and say, look,
okay,
there has to be mutuality.
I want to show you this. Men are hard to understand at times. I agree. I think
they say women are hard to understand. Hard to understand.
Okay, and here Mark is saying something here. I can't date more than one woman. It's not fair, in my opinion, to her. I am going to give her the attention she deserves, and that is me being old-fashioned.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, that is very nice.
That is absolutely.
I hope that all men are like you, really. I mean, I think women, men.
Look, some women date more than one man as well, okay? But that's a nice thing. But this is not about dating more than one person at the same time.
Well, yeah.
This is about going out there and dating as many people as you can before you actually settle down into dating one person. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that you're going to date this one this week and date the same one 2 weeks from now. No, you date that person, you move on to the next, and you keep going until you find one that you think you can gel with and develop a relationship.
Well, I don't think that's what duty dating is. I think they're telling you to date multiple people.
No.
Fill your calendar. Your calendar with
you date and you move on. That's what I mean. I read the whole article, and that's what I get from.
Okay. I didn't read the whole article.
Okay.
No, you fill up your calendar with a bunch of different people.
Is it different people?
Yep, you fill up your calendar with a bunch of different people.
You move on.
Social skills and reading.
You date one, you move to the next. It's not like if you're retaining that one and you're dating.
You're not dating anybody. You're just, until you say, hey, I like you.
Until you meet one and you say, hey, this one we can probably, have something going.
Yeah.
Once
but,
there's
when you get to the point where you say, hey, yes, I want to be dating just you. And it has to be something that you both agree on, because if one person doesn't know, they're still out there doing duty dating.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, let's talk about that for a minute.
That's why I said there has to be mutuality. You have to know that person is also interested in you.
Yeah, but
to a similar degree that you're interested in that person.
It's up to the guy to say to the woman, hey, I'm really kind of into you, and I'd like to see where this goes. Can we be exclusive? I think it's up to the guy to ask. I don't think a woman should ask.
I don't think so either. I think a guy should,
I think that if a woman has sufficient interest, you don't have to ask directly, but there are certain suggestive ways that a woman can ask or indicate to a guy that she's ready for, or that she wants him in her life.
If she's getting a little impatient with him, yeah, maybe she'd say, hey, where's this going? And that's when the guy says, hold on there.
Hey, Missy. Okay, here we have a couple of things going on. I want to make sure I I think this is Nina. Nina, and let me explain to everyone that Nina is a divorce coach, and she's a good friend of mine. I've had her on the show, and she's got a wealth of knowledge. So she's saying that we communicate differently, men and women. Also, I think she's saying that this is an excellent topic, and I hope that that's you. If not, then forgive me. And then also, what do you do if a man comes back months later and now wants you again? And that's true. Okay, so the thing is I don't like sloppy seconds. How about you guys? I mean, if someone's interested in me, and then they pass me up, and then they went on, and then they come back again, it's like, okay, what do you guys think about that?
Well, if they left me for somebody else, I would be like, no, I'm not going for that. But if they left because they just weren't sure, they just, just wanted to, just, I don't know, whatever the reasons are. It just depends on the situation, because I may not be so sure either. And I'd be like, okay, go, and then when they come back, I'm like, yeah, let's try it again. And it has happened with me a couple of times where, I do it, I'll go ahead and give it a second chance. And of course it doesn't work out because it wasn't right the first time either.
Right. So this person is saying, I did ask and he said he wasn't interested. So, okay, here's the thing is, why wasn't he interested? Is it timing? Because also dating, more than just meeting someone, it's also the timing of that. Maybe they weren't ready to really get out and dating. They meet someone and then they kind of panic a little bit.
Probably they wanted to meet more people, have a wider choice, see what's out there.
When a guy is not interested, just move on. Next.
Yeah. I'm trying to catch up with these. I'm sorry. I'm just going to do them real fast. Yes, something's funny happening with Facebook today. So it's like, yeah. So forget. So she can't say, yes, it's her, Nina. Yeah.
Okay.
Tiara. So, let's see. How many times do you try? So
Nina.
How many times do you try going out with a person?
You mean
Look.
So you're going out with several people. This is a good question, Nina. You're going out with several people, and then you're going out with them over and over again. How many times are you going to go out with them over and over again before you say, hey, he's the one, he's not the one, or maybe he's my Wednesday guy and I'm going to have my Thursday guy?
If he doesn't get to be your Saturday night guy and your Friday night guy, you need to start questioning something, because that's always my problem. I never get to be the Friday or Saturday night girl. And I'm like, why? What's up with that?
Yeah. Well, you know what? If I'm going to have to do that, they're all going to have to be named the same thing, or I'm going to get confused and call them all the wrong names. So, so I'm only going to be able to date guys with a certain name. That's it.
Just call them all one name, and then
oh my God.
Same nickname.
And okay, here Mark's saying then duty dating should be at the bar talking to everyone you can. Dude, that's a good one. You go out to the bar and you just go one after the next one after the next one.
Yeah, I think duty dating and dating many people at the same time are two different concepts. But the thing is that how many times do you go out with a player?
That's
you don't know. You don't know until you find out.
That's why you give them 3 chances. You can figure things out. You can trust your instincts on things. And if by the 3rd time you still don't know, just come out and ask.
Yeah. So I call that, you know what? I got a phrase for that. I call it manning up. If he doesn't man up after the 3rd, that means if he doesn't give you the indication that he's really into you, by that time he's not, and he's probably not going to be. You're just filling a space of time. He might find you interesting, fun to be with, but you're not the one, right? And so if he hasn't man up by a certain time, whatever you feel that might be, then it's time to just eat. And you're looking for that, then you need to move on. If not, you're just happy with the way things are, then you let it roll, you let it go. So, yeah, that's up to you. That's just my thing. Let's see what else we got here. Seems like what I'm hearing from women is that men have the upper hand.
They kind of do.
I don't think so.
Well, yeah, they kind of do, because if we're waiting for them to speak up and say, whether or not they want to make it a exclusive relationship, that is the upper hand.
Yeah, I think that I think in today's world, it's an equal hand. Women have every right and instinct to speak up and say what you want, because if you don't express what you want, you may get what you don't want. You have to be clear about what your objectives are. And if the relationship is not moving into the outcomes that you want, then you move on. Mm-hmm. But you can't just sit there and not express yourself and wait on Prince Charming to come along. It's not Mills and Bones days anymore. That's done.
Yeah.
People have.
I mean, when you go into starting a date, right? You have a kind of a parameter of what you're wanting, and so you share that if you're looking for a long-term committed relationship or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to say to them, "Listen, I have 30 days, and I expect to fill my calendar with 30 different people, and which day you want." You don't do that. That's not what you're doing.
But that is what dating is about.
What 3 days do you
I'm going from one person to
because it's
until you get the
3 days you want
more.
That's right. Yeah, I'll give you 3 days. Okay, I'll give you 3 days. So what 3 days do you want? And then you're out. The next one comes in. No, and you can't do that. That's not what I think.
How far apart do you want those days?
I don't know.
Mark says, no, we don't. And I agree with Mark. I do not feel that, because I do feel a woman is in the driver's seat, because the guy is even though we say both of us are jointly on this decision making or whatever, if a woman says no, it's no. That's just simply the way it is. And she backs out, he's left. So the thing is if the guy really is into her, he's got to step it up. I mean, he's got to get in.
What about if the woman is into the guy and the guy says no? Because that happens as well.
Well, then she needs to move on. If the guy, if let's say they have gone out 3 times, 4 times, whatever, and I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman saying, "Hey, where are we going with this? How are you feeling?" I think that if you're going to have a relationship with someone, you have to be comfortable enough to have conversation, right?
Absolutely.
No matter what the outcome is. And my mother told me when I was little, beware of the questions that you ask, because somebody's going to answer it. And so if you're not ready to hear whatever that answer is, don't ask that question. And so if you're saying to the person, where are we at with this? How are you feeling? Then if he says, I like your company, but I just don't really see us long term. I don't, whatever, or I just want to see where things go. If you've been on several dates and he's still wanting to see where things go, and you're saying, let's get, then something's not gelling right. And so you need to ask yourself, why is that happening? Is he just not into you enough? Is he, not ready to make that next step because of a past relationship? You've got to start sorting those things out. But, you got to be timing's got to be right. And you got to be all on the same page about it. Oh, here, Nina's picture came up now. So here we can all see how pretty she is. Here we go.
Hi, Nina.
She says she's staying single. Well, I don't know, you won't be single forever, girl. Let me tell you. Do men find that women can't communicate properly? Ooh, that's a very good question.
I think you're right, Nina. I think that I hear that complaint a lot, that women don't say what they want. A lot.
Yeah, I would say from my experience that most women don't actually speak out. They kind of sit back and wait on the man. And I'm saying that women should be speaking out. Express what you want, who you are, what your needs are, and and just get the thing on an even keel as quick as possible. It's either it's going to work or it's not.
But I think that
I see people waste months, sometimes years, in a relationship only to split up at the end because people weren't expressing themselves clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's good, because you know what? I'm glad you brought it up, because a relationship is based on communication, right? It's got to be based on communication. If you don't have free, equal communication, you're going to be in trouble down the road.
In trouble, and I would say not only women don't communicate effectively, men don't communicate effectively either.
They don't.
Derek, thank you, and you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Because, Kathy, don't you agree? As us being human beings, sometimes we just have flaws, right? I mean, sometimes we are, maybe we're afraid that we're going to rock the boat too early, or we're going to do.
Afraid
confrontation. Ooh, do I say something too quickly that I'm going to kind of make them feel like, oh my gosh, let me jump the ship before she gets too sticky, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
And I think that people I think the whole question of communication also is rejection. People are woefully afraid of being rejected. And
nothing worse than rejection when you don't want to be rejected.
Nina says, how can we change this? And then she says, yes, I agree. We think the man knows what he's doing. Believe me,
most men don't.
Open communication, and I think fear gets in the way. That's very good. And I think Eric, you were touching on that fear. Kathy,
fear about rejection. I think that people should establish.
Definitely fear.
Yeah, people. I think when people get together and things are getting a little, you're dating 3, 4, 5 times, that you should kind of establish that you want to have open communications. You want to know how each other feels about different things, and open up those communication channels. And one thing we have to practice is not to be too critical of each other, right? Should not be critical. Criticism shuts down communications in a hurry. So if we avoid being too critical and we say, okay, we're going to have open and honest communications, then, I think it's a way that we can overcome this lack of effective communications between people.
Okay, so if you're saying, let me just ask you this. So if you're saying that we're being critical, so is someone criticizing? Because if you're criticizing someone, you are being critical.
Of
if
course.
You're saying to them, if you've gone out a few times and then you say, if the lady says, and Kathy, you had said this, if the lady says, hey, I kind of like the way this is going. How are you feeling? Are you comfortable with this? I'd like to know your thoughts on this. That isn't being critical. That's just throwing it out there, and that's for him now to jump in and say, hell yeah, I'm having a great time. I like you. I'd like to see more of you. But if he comes back and says, well, yeah, it's you're feeling my Thursday night,
Yeah.
I'm not talking like that. I mean, what I'm really speaking about is in the exchange of ideas and information, right? Sometimes somebody says something that you may not agree with, for instance, because now you're dating and you like each other, whether it's on a physical level, whether it's on a mental level or whatever, right? Whatever level you connect with. And then when it comes to speaking with each other and expressing things, and somebody throws something out there that you don't agree with, some people just laugh it off or shut it down or make that other person feel stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that has to be avoided if you want open communications with your potential partner. In other words, understand things from your partner's perspective as well.
I also think the same thing, not to be critical, and I certainly don't ever want to do that, but I think that if someone is saying something that I don't necessarily agree with, number one, I want to hear their view, because I might change my mind. I might change my mind on the subject. But if I honestly don't agree with it, then I think that I'm okay with saying, you know what, I value your opinion. However, I don't really agree with that. I don't really think like that. And this is my reason why.
But absolutely.
And I think that's what communication is, right? Right, Kathy?
But absolutely, let me just respond before Kathy. I would say that is good. Because you said, I don't agree when you were sincere in your disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about that. There are some people who do not have the art of flipping something, expressing own ideas, and coming back in a nice way. That was a nice way. There are some people who would make that person look like, well, your idea is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Well, this is the reason why they need to do their duty dating, so they can get used to this kind of thing. So, and according to this article, this paragraph says you'll find yourself feeling and acting more confident, and you won't get so upset when one of the dates don't work out, because in the back of your mind, you know you'll get another chance somehow with someone else tomorrow.
Hey, Mark.
There you go. Respect. There you go. Yeah, respect is always important.
Yeah.
Every 10 minutes and then it changes. I love you, Mark. You're so wonderful. And then Nina says, I was dating an amazing man once, and once I spoke my truth. He ran for the hills.
You ran. Well, you're right.
You did the right thing, Nina. You did the right thing. You were not wasting your time. So, Nina, you saved yourself a lot of time once you spoke what your mind, you know. It freed you to go move on to the next, you know, duty date.
You ran to the hills. Probably took a tent with him and went and camp out.
So, Mark and I are really good friends. He was his wife is one of my best friends, and so yeah, you are absolutely wonderful, Mark. But you know, I agree with that. I think that if you speak your truth, if you speak something that comes from your heart, maybe sharing a past, an opinion, whatever, and someone is so, you know, that just want to cut the relationship because of it, then you're lucky they did it now versus then down the road, because
before you got even more hung up and you got your heart broken.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Wow, this conversation was really great, and you know, we've flown by. We didn't even take a break or anything, so that's okay. But this is a very good subject, and thank you, Kathy, for bringing this forward to us. I've never heard of it before.
Me neither.
No, neither me. And you know what? We didn't really follow the steps in it, but that's fine. We covered a lot of the areas. It was really nice, Kathy. So we should probably make you the topic hunter.
Oh, you're the topic hunter. Now you have a job.
Responsibilities, yikes.
Yeah, that was really good. I think maybe what we'll talk about, and Kathy and I talked about this prior, Derek, and see what you think. But maybe the next show we can talk about some of those terms like ghosting and breadcrumbing, and there's like some new ones out that I hadn't heard of.
And I have never heard breadcrumbing before. That's a new one for me.
So we'll talk about some of those things and go through each one of them, and then maybe we see if we've experienced that in our life. I know I've probably experienced all of them, and then some, maybe some new ones.
Maybe so. Well, yeah, that sounds fun. I mean, you know, we can look at those terms and see what they mean.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Mark, you're great. You're absolutely great. You know what? It really warms our heart when you guys make a comment and you join us on the show. I mean, it truly does. And that you listen. We see that you're listening because we can see the numbers up there. And so it really warms our heart that you are with us, supporting us, and that you're enjoying these shows. And we hope that we're making them fun and a bit educational as we go along. I hear Nina said something here too. She said, I feel both sexes do not want to put in the work, and more of them are men. Well, guys, let's prove her wrong. Right? Come on, guys, let's prove her wrong.
Yeah. We're being a little victimized, I guess, in that respect.
That's right. We're gonna smack you around, you guys. But but here's the thing: it only takes one person, right? One person to connect with that you feel like you can maybe move beyond and develop a relationship with. So you may be going out like this duty day, you may be going out with several people, learning more things about yourself, learning things about them, learning things what you want, you don't want, but it only takes one. That's it. So we're just looking for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like a needle in a haystack.
It's work, but it's job's got to get done.
Yeah, and in the meantime, we have a great time doing it. I would work. I would work very hard
for the right one.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a sentiment.
So we're right here. We're right here, aren't we, Mark? We're right here.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Let's see. I thought I had met the one, and I guess it was a test.
Yeah. It was an experience.
Learning more about yourself,
Chalk it up to experience, and learn. Just learn from it.
Yeah. Timing is everything. All right, guys, we've got to go because we have another show after this. Arnie Fonseca is going to be next, and here on the show. But let me make sure you guys know where we're from. We're on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We're a radio, TV, and podcast station. We're the #1 internet singles talk network. You're listening to the Boy and Girl Thing. I'm Cece Schatz. I have my good friends with me.
Kathy Lamb.
And I'm Derek Bernard. And see you all next time.
See you next time. Bye.
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 Bye.